does not care about your plans. It does not care about your excuses. It does not care about your fear. Every second it moves forward, quietly, relentlessly. And right now, it is moving through 2026. Most people think years disappear slowly. They don't. They vanish while you are distracted. While you are waiting. While you are telling yourself the same story again. One day you wake up and the year is gone. Not because you were attacked. Not because life was unfair. But because you delayed. Regret does not arrive loudly. It arrives calmly. It sits beside you and whispers you had time. You see, time is not your enemy, but it will expose you. It will expose what you chose to do and what you chose not to do. People love to talk about wasted money, but money can return. People talk about missed opportunities, but opportunities repeat. Time does not. Once a year passes, it is sealed, locked, untouchable. And most people don't feel that loss immediately. They feel it later. When energy is lower, when responsibilities are heavier, when chances are fewer, that is when the pain shows up. You don't feel regret in the moment you waste time. You feel it when time asks for results, and you have none. 2006 is not just another year. It is a test. A measuring stick. It will measure your discipline, your focus, your honesty with yourself, not your intentions, not your dreams, your actions. Every year, people say the same thing. This is my year. They say it with hope. They say it with excitement. And then they repeat the same habits, the same routines, the same delays. Hope without action is a trap. You don't drift into success. You drift into regret. That happens by default. Look around. You can see it everywhere. People aging without growing. People busy without progress. People exhausted without results. They didn't fail loudly. They failed quietly, day by day, choice by choice. No alarms went off. No warnings appeared. Just comfort, just distraction, just postponement. And suddenly years are gone. You see, wasting a year doesn't feel dangerous. It feels normal. Scrolling feels harmless. Waiting feels responsible. Overthinking feels smart. But those are lies time tells you, and you accept them. Because facing urgency is uncomfortable. Facing responsibility is uncomfortable. So you tell yourself there is still time. But here is the truth. You don't get unlimited years to figure it out. You don't get endless resets. Life does not pause while you hesitate. Every year you delay growth, you increase the cost of change. What was easy at 25 becomes harder at 35. What required courage before requires sacrifice later. Time multiplies consequences. That is why wasted years hurt more as you age. Because now it is not just about dreams. It is about dignity, about self-respect, about knowing you didn't betray yourself. Deep down, you already feel it. That quiet pressure, that restlessness. That voice asking, how long are you going to keep doing this? That voice is not negative. It is honest. It is reminding you that you were meant for more. Not more comfort, more purpose. 2026 will answer one question for you. Did you rise or did you repeat? Years don't ruin lives. Patterns do. And a wasted year strengthens a pattern. Right now, the pattern is either breaking or it is tightening its grip. Time is watching, not to judge you, but to record you every day, every choice. And soon enough, it will ask you to live with the record. That moment is coming. And the direction is being decided now. Don't you? That quiet discomfort, the sense that time is moving faster than you are. Years don't get wasted in explosions. They disappear silently, one ordinary day at a time. Most people don't wake up and decide to throw a year away. They drift. They delay. They convince themselves everything is fine. I still have time. That sentence has ruined more lives than failure ever did. Time feels generous when you are young. It feels patient. It feels endless. But time is not your friend. It is neutral. And it keeps moving whether you move or not. People waste years because they confuse movement with progress. They stay busy. They stay tired. They stay distracted. And at the end of the year, nothing has changed. Same habits, same fears, same excuses. I'll start next year. That sounds harmless, responsible even. But next year is where dreams go to sleep. Next year is a hiding place, a soft pillow for fear, a delay button for responsibility. You don't postpone change because you're lazy. You postpone it because change threatens your identity. And comfort feels safer than growth. Most people are not scared of failing. They're scared of finding out what they're capable of. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And excuses stop working. So they wait for motivation. As if motivation is a visitor. As if it knocks on the door one morning and says, today is the day. Motivation does not come to the uncommitted. It follows action. It rewards movement. Waiting to feel ready is how years disappear. Waiting to feel confident is how potential dies quietly. You tell yourself you're preparing, learning, observing. But deep down, you know the truth. Preparation without execution is procrastination in disguise. People waste years because they normalize dissatisfaction. They get used to waking up tired, used to unfulfilled days, used to going to bed with regret. At first it hurts. Then it becomes familiar. And familiarity feels safe. You don't need permission to want more. But many people wait for it anyway. They wait for approval from family, from society, from circumstances. And while they wait, time keeps collecting interest on their inaction, on their fear, on their silence. Another year passes and they say, I can't believe how fast time flies. Time didn't fly. You stood still. You don't lose years because you're stupid. You lose them because you underestimate the cost of delay. You think 1 year doesn't matter, but years stack. Habits compound, and avoidance builds momentum. What you don't change today becomes harder to change tomorrow. People waste years because they stay loyal to versions of themselves that no longer fit. Old limits, old stories, old labels. They outgrow their excuses, but keep using them anyway. You know when a year is being wasted. You feel it in your body, in that tightness in your chest, in that quiet frustration you can't explain. You scroll more, you distract more, you numb more, not because you don't care, but because caring without action hurts too much. So you soften the truth. You say things like, at least I'm trying, but trying without commitment is just comforting language. Years don't ask for your attention. They just pass. And one day you look back, not at what you did, but at what you avoided, and that's when it hits. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet realization. You were never stuck. You were delaying the decision to take yourself seriously, and time noticed. This is the moment most people avoid. The moment where excuses stop working, because now you know, you feel it deep inside. 2026 is not another year. It is a verdict on who you chose to be. You can pretend this is just motivation. You can close this video. You can scroll again. You can say, I'll think about it later. But later is the trap. Later is where potential goes to sleep and never wakes up. There comes a time in every life when neutrality becomes betrayal, not of others, of yourself. You already know what you need to do. That's the truth nobody tells you. You are not confused. You are hesitating. You are standing at the edge of your own life, looking at what could be and what has been. And 20 on the 6 is asking one question, only one. Who are you going to be when nobody is watching? Not when it's easy, not when you feel inspired, but when it's quiet, when it's boring, when it hurts. This is where lives change or repeat. You don't need more information. You need a decision, a real one, a final one, a decision that says this stops here. No more drifting, no more waiting to feel ready. No more explaining your dreams to people who don't have any. If you waste 22 and 6, it won't be because you didn't have time. It will be because you didn't take ownership. Time will pass anyway. The days will flip. The months will disappear. The only question is what grows while they do. Your discipline or your regret, your courage or your excuses. Years from now, you will look back at this exact moment, not dramatically, quietly, and you will know if this was the year you stood up or the year you stayed comfortable. Comfort is expensive. It costs dreams, it costs pride, it costs respect for yourself, and the bill always comes later. This is not about becoming perfect. This is about becoming honest about your habits, honest about your effort, honest about the standard you live by. Because life does not respond to intentions. It responds to consistency. And consistency starts now. Not January, not Monday. Now, draw the line in your routine, in your mindset, in your tolerance for excuses. Say it clearly. Say it without emotion this year. I do not negotiate with my weakness. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You need courage, quiet courage, the kind that shows up daily. There is fire in you, not hype, not noise. Fire. And fire does not ask if it's ready. It burns because that is what it was meant to do. So let 2006 be the year you stop running from yourself. The year you stop underestimating what discipline can build. The year you stop waiting to be rescued. No one is coming, and that is your power. Because if it is up to you, then it is possible. Stand up internally, even if nobody sees it. Especially if nobody sees it. This is your line in the sand. Your life, not your plans. Not your excuses, your life. Because your life is speaking. Every result is talking. Every silence is answering a question you keep avoiding. Who are you becoming? Not who you say you want to be. Who you are becoming by repetition, by habit, by tolerance. Because life does not respond to wishes. Life responds to identity. You don't rise to what you want. You fall to what you are. Read that again. Slow, you fall to what you are. That's why wanting more does nothing. That's why dreaming harder changes nothing. That's why motivation comes and goes. Identity stays. And identity is built quietly, in private, in what you allow, in what you excuse, in what you delay. So let me ask you something, and don't answer fast. Who are you becoming when you hit snooze again? Who are you becoming when you avoid the hard call? Who are you becoming when you settle for good enough? Because every small act is a vote. A vote for the person you are training yourself to be. You don't wake up one day unsuccessful. You practice it daily. You don't wake up one day confident. You practice that too. So what are you practicing? Look at what you tolerate. That's your real standard. The job you hate but won't leave. The body you complain about but won't train. The relationship that drains you but feels familiar. The talent you hide because you fear judgment. You call it patience. Life calls it permission. And whatever you permit persists. Listen carefully. Your future is being shaped by what you are willing to live with today. Not what you post, not what you promise, what you tolerate. That's identity. Most people want new results, but refuse to become someone new. They want confidence, but keep acting cautious. They want respect, but keep shrinking. They want success, but keep thinking like spectators. And life says no, not because life is unfair, but because life is consistent. You don't get what you want. You get what you're aligned with. Identity is alignment. If you see yourself as someone who starts late, you will always rush. If you see yourself as someone who needs permission, you will always wait. If you see yourself as someone who plays small, life will never ask more of you. Because why would it? You taught it who you are. And here is the part that hurts, but frees you. No one did this to you. You trained this version of yourself through choices, through avoidance, through repetition. But here's the power. The same way identity was built, it can be rebuilt. Formations. Not with hype, not with hope, with decisions. Hard ones, uncomfortable ones. Identity changes when behavior changes, period. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. The moment you do the thing you said you weren't ready for, that's identity shifting. The moment you stop explaining yourself, that's identity shifting. The moment you keep a promise you usually break, that's identity shifting, and it feels uncomfortable, because it should. Growth feels like betrayal to your old self. Your old habits will fight back. Your old circle will question you. Your old comfort will pull at you. That's how you know it's working, because the old version of you is being challenged, and it doesn't want to die quietly. But listen to me. You cannot carry an old identity into a new life. It will not fit. 2026 will not respond to who you used to be. It will respond to who you decide to become. And that decision is not loud. It's not dramatic. It's shown in how early you rise, in how honestly you speak, in how consistently you act, in how much discomfort you stop avoiding. So ask yourself again, and this time mean it. Who am I becoming, and what am I no longer willing to tolerate? Because the moment you change those answers, life changes its response. Not instantly, but inevitably. And that is the law.